My next guest is a small business owner and an immigrant like myself. She's also a testament of what families and communities can do when they come together. Hear her story, and you'll be inspired and moved the way I was. Hi, Jerly. Good morning. Thank you for being with us today. You're the owner of Hair is Happiness, a boutique hair salon in our neighborhood that is mainly geared towards children, but more and more you serve the whole family. I, along with my daughter, have been doing my hair at your salon for the past year, and more of my friends go to your hair salon and they get their hair done at the same time with their children. It's such a happy place, your salon. I always love to be there. So please tell us, what is your background and how did you come up with this amazing idea?
Hi, Daniela. First, thank you so much for having me in your podcast to share my story. Congratulations, by the way, on your show.
Thank you.
And to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm originally from Venezuela. We came here in 1996. And like many wonderful immigrant stories, my mom, brave mom, single mom, basically, she picked up her two kids and decided to come here and not a lot of connections, not really knowing the language, the culture, but she has this clear determination that she wanted to at least give us the opportunity to, for my brother and I, to build a better future. And I always I have this very strong belief that whoever I am and wherever I am or wherever I want to be has been strongly influenced by her drive and her determination to achieve her goals. So this is my first, Hair is Happiness is my first entrepreneurial project. I actually come from a marketing and advertising background. I spent 15 years in corporate America, and I used to, working doing consumer research and really understanding consumer behaviors and motivations and media habits and what are the things that drive them and how to connect them with brands. And while it was a wonderful time in corporate America, I always have this little inner voice, and actually has been a voice that has always been driving my every move. And I do trust my instincts and my voice, even though sometimes it just gets crazy. Uh, but I remember clearly like being in these amazing, huge conference rooms, huge meetings with huge brands and or events and things like that. And while everybody else was like, wow, so happy, this voice kept talking to me and I don't know, telling me, I don't know, this might not be it. So, but of course, I always kept rationalizing. It's like, Jerly, you spend so much time, studying and student after student visa. I think I had a total of 8 student visas and then work permits. And it was just like such a, like, it was,
Effort you put in it,
I was
right?
like, how are you going to leave all of this behind? And, it's good money, benefits, a title, everything. And so I kept telling the voice to, you know, and
Put it
then
down, yeah.
correct. And then 2013 came and I had my child. And my mom actually, she went back home, but when I had my kid, she decided to come here and she stayed with us permanently. So she's living with us. So the combination of being a mom, a new mom, and also living with an elderly parent and just juggling and working in the corporate world, which is a lot of pressure, and all of that just kept my little voice louder and louder. It's like, you have to find really something that you are, I don't know if it's passionate, but something, that wasn't it. I knew it wasn't it. So, but I kept, not listening and it literally, I'm not kidding, but it literally took 5 whales, five
Uh,
whales, yes,
Wales.
under a little boat in Vancouver in the summer of 2018. I went vacationing with my daughter there.
And you saw the whales.
And we went whale watching. I don't know what came over me. If it was the fact that I was seeing my daughter having fun, I'm just spending time with her, or just the simple fact of seeing all of us, like how silly, how crazy can we be? I mean, there's like 5 creatures under this little tiny boat, and here we are. And it was maybe, it's just a small example, but to me, it was just like, how brave are we? Like, look at my daughter, 5 year old,
Yeah.
whales, and she's fine, and she's having fun. And I don't know what came over, but I decided to jump. I didn't jump into the water, of course. But the day I came back from my vacation, I resigned. I put my resignation. My resignation. It was tough, but
Was
I
emotional.
was very emotional for everyone. No one was expecting it. And I was actually in a very successful, trajectory.
Career path. Yeah.
And that's it. I did it, and I was already toying around with the idea of a hair salon. And because I was here in Jersey City, I was looking for a hair salon for my daughter, and I really couldn't find one. So immediately the curiosity kicked in. I'm a very curious person, and I'm like, I'm a marketer too. So I start like doing some research and diving into it. I'm like, wait a minute, Jersey City is changing. And every time I used to go to the park, there's more families, more kids. And the more and more I dug into this idea, I start falling in love with it. And the more I read about for children how it might be for some such a happy experience, but for other kids it's so terrifying. And now that I've seen so many kids, it's like, wow, for them, for some, it's really challenging. It's a big step, and also for new parents.
Yes.
So all of these things just kept, all of these findings just kept me, I don't know, just creating and being more connected to the project and really wanting me to do it. And then also seeing the lack of beauty professionals that want to embrace this market. So all of these things make the idea, come to be. And now this is what we have today. Hair is happiness. But I always say, and I continue to say, I don't want a hair salon, and I still don't want a hair salon. What I'm trying to build here is an experience where people come and they feel welcome, they feel understood, they feel happy, and that's basically how the place came to be.
That's such a wonderful story. And actually, when I come to your salon with my daughter, and what attracted us was exactly the happiness and positiveness that we found there. Exquisite design, happy colors, friendly staff, gorgeous haircuts. You do also the nails for the girls with those happy faces and colors, pastel colors. I feel your business is a place of positiveness and happiness. Tell me, how did you come up with that design? Is so heartwarming to come into your place.
Thank you for all those wonderful comments. Actually, it was a beautiful collaboration between friends from the ad world. For example, the branding was created by one of my dear friends, Danielas, which is an amazing designer. And for the actual space, we work with actually a Jersey City local architect, Jorge Mastropietro, which is amazing, has done great work. And really the vision for me was always to create something very minimal, bring geometric shapes into the mix, primary colors, but I didn't want to bombard kids with so much. I just wanted to also leave space for them to just imagine, wonder, and just because, we're all being
Bombarded, yeah.
with so much information. So I just wanted a place where even you just come and just, you can have a cup of coffee and maybe just stare at a white wall. But we wanted something like really minimal, but at the same time that it will spark curiosity and imagination. And that's basically how the space came to be.
It's wonderful. I love being there. From the first day I went there, I loved it, and my daughter too. It's actually our experience there, because you were not open when my daughter had her first haircut, and we had our first haircut in Manhattan, a Doodle Do, I think is the place called, and it was the most famous place at the time around here. And I can tell you, there's no comparison between your salon and Doodle Do.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
the experience is so much better at your salon. Tell me, you opened your salon in what year?
We opened in July of 2019.
July of 2019. Our neighborhood has been changing so much. You know, so many restaurants and boutiques coming in our neighborhood, and you are really an integral part. And I remember talking to you because we were there, one of the first clients, and I remember talking with you and and telling you this is such a wonderful place, but not many people know about it. And you're saying, oh, it would be great if I had the possibility to advertise at the Path station. And lo and behold, the other day I was looking at a Facebook mom group, Jersey City Moms, and somebody was asking about a place for a haircut for kids. And I think there were like 10 moms there saying, hair is happiness, hair is happiness. So your brand recognition has spread so much, and people come to your salon, know where your salon is without that coveted advertisement at the Path. How did you do it?
Oh, thank you. That's so humbling. So yes, we all want to grow fast. So I had to, you know, it's a process, like everything, right? It's a process, and I know, I'm a marketer, so it's a process. It takes a lot of work, but I think right now I realize what or where I am right now is that I really want to continue to build that trust with my clients. And yes, I advertise. Yes, I do, social media. I do grassroots. I do partnership with schools and things like that. But what I have come to realize is that word of mouth is the most powerful, type of advertisement, and really building that trust and bringing that value to my guests is what it has help us. And I can see, every time I ask someone, like, how do you hear about us? It's always, this mom, or I was talking to this dad, or I was looking, like you just mentioned, in this mommy group. And that's just amazing. And that's where my focus is. I want to continue to build that trust within the community. I'm hoping that my own community will continue to spread the word out. And for example, not too long ago, we saw that we were actually, I didn't even know we were nominated, but we were named the #1 kid hair cutting place in Jersey City by Little Hoboken. And that for me was like a huge surprise. I didn't even, like, come on, we opened not even 2 years ago. So that has been really rewarding, and it's kind of like, okay.
Congratulations, you
Thank
deserve
you.
it.
Thank you. That was really good.
So you opened just before the pandemic, and that, I think it was a blow for you to a few months later to have to be closed and to navigate this difficult time. You're completely closed, right, for a while, and then
Correct.
and
Correct.
how did you do it? Because now everybody's coming to your salon, and I think you're doing even better than before.
Yes, correct. Um, yes, we were actually closed for 3 months. We closed March 2006, March 16 of 2020. And it was like many small businesses. Is hard, it's a global disaster. And
Did you think maybe this is it? Maybe I'm done. Maybe
oh
were
yeah,
you afraid? Yeah.
I was terrified. I fell into this deep depression, and I'm like, what did I do? I even called my boss to ask him for my job back. How he was. And I was just so depressed. And again, once again, my mom came to the rescue. Get up, You gotta go, you have your clients, your little guests, as you like to call them, and they are waiting for you, they're expecting you. And so get up and do what you need to do. And that's exactly what I did. I applied to every possible thing that you can think of. I crunched numbers like I have never crunched numbers in my life. And I was, staying connected with my stylists and with my clients. And in a way to stay connected with the clients, I did different like videos in my house with my daughter, like how to wash your hair properly or how to do a hand cream because you were doing so much hand washing. So how to keep them, moisturized in a fun way. So things like that. And also coming to the salon really helped me. I used to come here and just like sit down and let the space speak to me because we were already building this beautiful energy and it was already
Yes.
here and I didn't want that to die. And so I came a lot to the salon and I just sat here still and I remember I'm like, Jerly, you have all of these toys. What about if we do some little toy bags and for the kids, And I start promoting them, and here, like clients were calling me, like, yeah, I want this bag and I want this bag, and I went and I delivered them. So those are the things that kept me in touch and connected with my clients, and it really paid off. I mean, the amount of emails, donations that we got was just so amazing to see. Like I got emails like, hey, don't worry, you're gonna be okay, the doors are going to open soon. So all of those things really kept me optimistic. And yeah, now we reopen, thankfully, and it has been fantastic. Uh, of course, still, not at the same level, but we continue to grow, and it will be a process. I feel that everything before March 2020 was like a test run, and now in June when we reopen, it's like, okay, now we open again. So I took it like that. Like before it was just like a test, and now we are open again. So I didn't feel so that helped me emotionally, spiritually. To me, it worked. So yeah, now we have new people coming into the salon, and a lot of people from the city, from Manhattan, are moving here. So they're coming into the space, and it was just beautiful to see all the support from the community. And we have an amazing community, I have to say. People like you and many other moms, it's just like amazing. It's a very, very, and I'm just so grateful to be here.
It's amazing how many people want to support the small businesses right now and buy local and encourage the local businesses, because you guys been through a lot, and it's amazing how you kept your dream going. Those are amazing tools. Like, oh my God, so inspiring. So, what are your plans for the futures? More salons? You're going to branch out in other businesses. What is going to happen next for Jerly?
Thank you. Wow, if you could get inside my mind. No, I think right now for me, really the focus is to continue to make this corner as bright, as happy as I can, as I possibly can. As I said, this is an experiential goal that I have in mind, so I will continue to add things, maybe remove some things, maybe add others. Like recently we added candy to the whole experience, and people are loving candy. We call it healthy candy. So yeah, I mean, my goal right now is to, as I said before, is to build that trust with my community, to make this space as a happy place, and hope for the future to reach as many corners as possible.
How does your daughter feel about uh, your salon and this whole experience? She must be so proud of you.
Yes, and it's actually funny now to see all of this, because one of the things that I kept telling this little voice is like, oh, how are you gonna leave, the corporate world, you have a title, you this, you're that, and maybe your daughter is not gonna be as proud of you. And that's one of the things that I had a really struggle changing directions. And now that I see her, and she's just so proud, she talks to everybody about the salon, and when she's here, she's like the little boss. And like if people, you see someone like touching a toy, he's like, hey, you can look at it, but you have to buy it. So that has been beautiful to see. And yeah, I'm proud. She's proud of me, and my family has been an amazing support through this journey. I think that's one of the things that actually allowed me to do what to do what I did, to leave the corporate world, and from supporting me emotionally, mentally, financially. So that has been a big support for me, and I'm so grateful. I'm very lucky.
I was touched about your story, you telling me that your mom lives with you in a multi-family home, and but of course it's very tough with the health insurance that is skyrocketing in this country, and you have to pay for a health. She doesn't have a health insurance, but you have to cover all those expenses. And me, as an immigrant like yourself, I see that the cost of health insurance is preventing from bringing in this country our parents or elderly relatives that we would like to have close by. So every time I come to your salon, I am so happy to see that you have your family around you, and I imagining contributing to that, to your mom being with you and supporting with you, to your daughter. You talk to me about your daughter when I come to your salon. So that's what I feel when I come to your place, not only enjoying myself, but also supporting your dreams, family dreams. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you, Daniela. You're wonderful. Yes, I mean, I live in a multi-generational household. In the beginning, it was challenging, especially, from a healthcare standpoint. Like, it was just scary not knowing that, God forbid, something happens to my mother. It's like, how I couldn't even like think about it. So it was challenging. And what I say to anyone that is planning to bring a parent here, or already is living with one, is really get in touch with your community. There is a lot of support out there. There's a lot of people that are willing to support elderly parents. And for me, I was lucky enough to find the Grace Church Senior Center here in Jersey City. And for me, they have been just wonderful. I remember, before the pandemic, my mom was doing Zumba, yoga, Tai Chi, you name it, super active, and she's 82 years old. And from flu vaccination to giving seminars of how to detect early Alzheimer's. So things like that. So yes, it is challenging, but there is always places that you can tap into for support. And for example, for the emergency, I was very scared. That's one of the things that I was like, God, something happens. How am I gonna cover all of this? So I went to the hospital. There is a lot of support, and I was able to get her coverage for emergencies and things like that. So it is still a challenge. Finally, after she's finally a green card holder, and it took me a while to get all of that and get her Medicare. But still, it's a juggle. And now that I have my own business, plus I have a small child, and taking care of my mom at the same time, and how to maintain that balance, is you need to find that extra support. And there is a lot of support out there. It's totally doable.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So, Jerly, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Do you have anything else to add before we conclude our interview?
No, of course. Thank you so much for having me. And please come check it out. Anybody listening, we are Hair is Happiness. We're located at 367th Street in Jersey City. And here you can come for hair, a cup of coffee, candy, you name it. We're here, and we're also on Instagram at Hair is Happiness. Thank you so much, Daniela. This was fun.
Thank you.